Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ali, and for the duties of HIRA is to determine and identify the correct operating procedure or SOP to prevent or reduce the severity of an accident. To achieve a safe and secure work environment, we need to understand the method and techniques of HIRA either for high risk or low risk tasks, so that a standard safety operating procedure can be established. The definition of HIRA is hazard identification, risk assessment and risk control. For hazard identification is to recognize the things that can cause injury or harm to an employee. Risk assessment is to evaluate the possibility of an injury or harm to happen. And finally, risk control is the implementation to reduce or eliminate the possibility of an accident from happening. The advantages of HIRA is that it can control or eliminate the risk of an accident from happening by creating an organized way to identify hazards, evaluating risk, and implement the necessary guidelines to prevent an accident so that a secure work environment can be created. HIRA is needed to secure and protect the health and safety of the employees from the exposure of hazardous work environment so that a safer work environment can be established.
Hi everyone, I'm Hania. So right now I'll be presenting about the task activity table. So the first task is handling the dangerous chemical, which is ammonia. So the hazard is hazardous chemical and the risk from it are skin burn, since ammonia is very corrosive, burning eyes, nose and also throat. The recommended control measure is to wear the full PPE such as goggles and also gloves when handling the chemical. Okay, so the next task is measuring and also preparing the chemical inside the fume hood. Okay, so the stage of the fume hood is the hazard that can cause explosion and also fire when it is not shut. The existing risk control is making sure the sash of the fume hood is shut when handling the chemical. However, the recommended control measure do not place any dangerous chemical inside the fume hood, and also fume hood must be cleaned after using it. So the third task is using unclean hot plate, which the hazard can be unknown chemical. This will impact to explosion and also toxic gas releases due to the unknown chemical reaction. So the recommended control measures are housekeeping and labeling all the substances. So the fourth task is disposing the chemical waste according to the type of waste container. So the hazard from the task is the chemical waste, and the risk is major health issues such as disease and also cancer when the water is contaminated with the toxic chemical that can lead to water pollution. So, the recommended control measure is direct supervision from the lab assistant when disposing the chemical. Okay, so the last task is storing the apparatus after cleaning them. So, the hazard from the task are high and also misplaced glassware. This can create minor injuries as cuts when the glassware is put on high places or around the sink. So, the recommended control measure is to follow the administrative control by storing them in appropriate places such as cabinets and not in improper places such as the table or high places.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Huzaifah Darwis and I will present table 2 and 3. As for table number 2, there are 5 types of likelihood: most likely, possible, conceivable, remote, and inconceivable. So in work activity, handling dangerous chemical, measure and prepare chemicals inside fume hood, use an unclean plate to heat up to 325 Celsius, and storing apparatus, we put the likelihood possible with the rating of 4, except disposals of chemical waste, with which the rating is 3, which means conceivable. Now let us look at table number 3, which is we rank the severity of hazard. The first one, the highest one, is catastrophic, followed by fatal, and then serious, minor, and negligible. Okay, as for work activity, for handling dangerous chemical and use an unclean plate, the rating is 3. But for measuring and preparing chemicals inside the fume hood and disposal of chemical waste, the rating is number 5, which is catastrophic. And lastly, storing apparatus. The likelihood or the rating is number 1, which is negligible.
Hello, my name is Nadia. For this slide, I would like to present about risk matrix table. Risk matrix table were used to evaluate and prioritize risk based on their likelihood at different level of severity. The formula for this calculation is likelihood times 2 severity. This table shows the row represent the likelihood or probability of a risk occurring, and the column represent the impact or severity of the risk. The cell in the table contain a numerical value that represent the risk level, with the higher the value and the greater the risk that we categorize with different color. Okay, next for the risk priority range. The risk priority range is typically defined using a numerical scale or a combination of qualitative terms and value. Based on the table, we can see that high risk category have a significant impact and a high likelihood of occurring is 50 to 21 value based on the risk matrix table. Immediate action is required to mitigate or eliminate this risk. Okay, next, for the medium risk category, have a moderate impact and a moderate likelihood of occurring, which is 15 to 12 value. They still require attention and appropriate action to reduce their likelihood or impact. And then for the low category risk, which is 1 to 4 value, have a minimal impact or a low likelihood of occurring. They are generally considered as less critical, but it's still important to monitor them and implement preventive measure if feasible. Okay, for the next slide, this slide I will explain about table 5, which is summarize of the risk value. Based on this table, I can give an activity of each classification of risk level. Okay, for the first activity, which is handle dangerous chemical, which ammonia have the risk value of 12, which categorized as a medium risk value. Okay, next, for the second activity, measure the chemical inside the fume hood, has a high value of risk level because the value is 20, which is quite high and need to prioritize the activity. Okay, for the last one, the activity is apparatus are stored in appropriate places such as in a cabinet after cleaning, have a low risk value, which the risk value is only 4, but still need to take action on it.
Hi, I am Rizwan and I'm going to explain about table 6, which is work activity and risk analysis. All information for this table is a summary of what has been explained from table 1 to table 3. Next, I'm going to explain about table 7, which is rank tasks and demands. Work activity that has the highest risk is the preparation of chemicals inside the fume hood. It has the highest risk and immediate action is required to prevent injury. Next is the disposal of chemical waste. It has a high risk, but no immediate action is needed since chemical waste is usually obtained after the expiry. After that, using an unclean hot plate, it has a medium risk and it can cause a direct injury. Next work activity is handling a dangerous chemical, which is ammonia. It has a medium risk, but immediate action is recommended. Last but not least, the one with the lowest risk is the storage of apparatus. It has the lowest risk because apparatus are usually stored after the project is finished.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Anisa Chua binti Kamaludin. And I will explain on standard operating procedure (SOP) for each task identified in table 1. Firstly, when handling dangerous chemicals, the most important SOP that we should apply is wearing personal protective equipment (PPE) such as gloves, goggles, and lab coat to avoid a direct contact with the chemicals. Other than that, we should also provide a material safety data sheets (MSDS) before handling any dangerous chemical to understand more about the risk associated with the substances. Lastly, after using the chemicals, we should store it in the refrigerator specified for the substances. For the second task, which is measuring chemicals in fume hood, we should know that only combustible and volatile substances should be used in fume hood. An aerosol producing procedure should be conducted in fume hoods to prevent any hazardous substances inhalation, which is harm to our body. Before using the fume hood, we should check and make sure that the fume hood certificate date is in 1 year less period date. When using the fume hood, we should keep the hood sash at or beneath the maximum height shown by an arrow on the fume hood side, which is we can see from the picture. And when not using the fume hood, we should close the hood sash. For the third task, which is heating a sample, we should always check the glass for flaws before using it. Do not use any glass with a crack, a chip, or any dirty glass to avoid any unnecessary reaction in substances. Before heating the samples, we should make sure the surface of the hot plate is clean and the substance is labeled properly to avoid any mix-up. For the fourth task, which is disposing chemical waste, we should pour any liquids or chemicals in a glassware in a direction away from label to avoid damaging the labels. The most important thing is to dispose any chemical in a specified bin. But from the picture, we can see that the laboratory don't have any specified bin for waste chemical or for glassware. So we should notify the person in charge, such as lab assistant, for proper disposal for dangerous chemical substances. For the last task, which is cleaning, we should always remember to keep the large bottle of acid or other acidic substances below the waste level to avoid any accidents. And last but not least, do a thorough cleaning of your lab area once a year to get rid of any materials and chemicals that are no longer needed. All general chemicals that are 3 years old or older should be thrown away.